completed his professional course in cooking and related culinary arts from Oberoi, and you've been a part of the industry for the last 11 years. Like I said, he's known for being calm and composed, and that is his mantra to success. He currently serves as the sous chef at restaurant GAA in Bangkok, and he has promised us that meals will be free for everybody from I.I.M.U.N. He is...
This is not on records.
He's a foodie, globetrotter, and a seasoned traveler who can also be seen as a guest judge on my very favorite show, which Vikas does as well, MasterChef India. So nice to see you, and thank you for doing this, Manav.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, man.
Let me start first off by asking you something completely off script. So I don't know whether they're going to like it, but considering I'm doing this conversation, I'm going to take the liberty of asking you about the beautiful Instagram page that talks about Indian cuisine, and then you talk about Indian cuisine in different contexts across the world. What was your thought behind it?
You know, people have a perception in the world that Indian food is more about curries, naan, dal, roti. But then, you know, as the younger generation, like our generation, we want to change that perception towards the world. You know, it's a very highly rated cuisine, and there's a lot more than you can do it. There is, you can give a modern touch to Indian cuisine, and, you know, it's one of the cuisine that's the highest levels at par with, you know, French, Italian, everything. I would say it's more complex than that cuisine. A lot more flavor, a lot more ingredients, a lot more things that you can do with Indian food. I don't think you can do it with any other cuisine. But that's my thing. That's how I think of it. So yeah.
No, I.I.M.U.N. is all about spreading the message of India, and a big part about spreading the message of India is spreading Indian food. So हम लोग उरुग्वे जब गए थे, and I had gone to Uruguay in South America, and I remember this very fondly, saying वहाँ शाकाहारी भोजन नहीं मिलता, इंडियन खाना तो मिलता ही नहीं था, and हम लोग इंडियन एम्बेसी भी नहीं थे, but our the purpose of I.I.M.U.N. is to spread Indianness. हम लोग को इंडियन खाना तो खिलवाना ही, तो हम लोग ने chef बुलाया from Argentina, and he was kind enough in order to make Indian food. आप मानेंगे नहीं that, you know, this is validating what you're saying. From the time the people out there started eating food in 2017, which was the first time Indian food was served out there, after that there are at least 10 restaurants that serve only Indian food in Uruguay and South America. And that's the power of Indian food, saying that वो लोग literally, हम लोग बोलते ना उंगलियां चाटते रह गए, was the same thing that happened with them. And then they started serving all the butter chickens of the world in Uruguay. But I'm so glad you're doing what you're doing, and that page definitely is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But talking about you started your professional journey as an intern, and then you've risen up the ranks. There's no godfather. You've had no godfather in culinary arts. सब कुछ आपने खुद से किया है.
Yes.
What would your message be to young aspiring chefs who embark on their professional journey?
You know, I always tell this to the younger generation, people who come to our restaurant, the interns, that it's a kind of industry where you see growth after a couple of years, not at the start. So it's pretty much like any other profession, but it's a kind of profession where you need to learn. The more experience you have, जितना काम करोगे उतना फल मिलेगा. तो जितना सीखोगे, जितना सिर झुका के तुम सीखते रहोगे, सबसे उतना अच्छा करोगे. So that's one message that everyone should actually get, the younger generation at least.
और यहाँ तो literally फल मिलेगा, because फल मिलेगा.
Exactly. We are like in literal way.
In the literal
फल, सब्जी सब मिलेगा.
सब मिलेगा. But you know, this is my question. I used to try cooking earlier, and then I kind of realized that जब मैं खाना बनाता था तो सिर्फ मैं ही खाता था, मेरे अलावा कोई नहीं खाता. But learning culinary arts is now a life skill. It's irrespective of whichever socio-economic background you come from, whatever your further profession in life is, culinary arts to सीखना ही है. This is what a lot of people say. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's good to learn because it's good for survival. You can say. अगर खाना नहीं खाओगे तो क्या कैसे जियोगे? खाना बनाना तो सीखना पड़ेगा. बट देन मेरे को बचपन से पैशन था खाना बनाने का. मैं जब स्कूल में था, मैं उस टाइम टीएलसी आता था, मैं टीएलसी देखते रहता था. टीएलसी से चीजें देख देख के किचन में जाके बनाता था, पर खुद खाता था.
वाह
मम्मी
वाह.
को नहीं खिलाता था, खुद खाता था.
अच्छा.
कहीं मम्मी का पेट खराब ना हो जाए, फिर मेरे को गालियां पड़े.
पर आप में और मेरे में एक अंतर है. बाद में आप खाना बनाते बनाते सबको खाना खिला रहे हो. अभी भी मैं जब खाना बनाता हूँ मैं ही खाता हूँ.
मैं भी. अब तो मैं खिलाता हूँ. आई एक्चुअली एंजॉय फीडिंग मोर देन ईटिंग, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. तो या.
How lovely. And I called you a young MS Dhoni, so I have to ask you this question. Saying आजकल प्रेशर बहुत रहता है. अभी जैसे मैंने बताया आपको, this organization is run by those who are between 15 to 22. And as much as I am, I would believe forever 21. Okay. The idea is that that's people who are 15 to 22, they are under a lot of stress at all points in time. Right? Whether एग्जाम का स्ट्रेस पकड़ लो या फिर रिलेशनशिप का स्ट्रेस पकड़ लो, एंड इतने स्ट्रेस में बहुत सारी चीज करनी पड़ती है. दैट यू हैव टू डू एन नंबर ऑफ क्रॉस. हाउ डू यू रिमेन काम when there is so much of stress and then you need to perform at that juncture?
You know, स्ट्रेस मैं भी लेता था. एग्जाम का स्ट्रेस मेरे को भी होता था, रिलेशनशिप का स्ट्रेस मेरे को भी होता था, काम का स्ट्रेस मेरे को भी होता था. But then I realized it's nothing. It's just gonna distract you a lot. जिस पे तुम स्ट्रेस ले रहे हो, सब खराब होने लगेगा. तो it's not that कि मैंने एकदम से मैं काम होना शुरू हुआ. I worked on myself कि अगर कुछ प्रेशर वाली चीज है, जब स्टार्टिंग में ये कहता कि ठीक है, थोड़ा सोच के, आराम से सोच के एक बार करो, चाहे थोड़ा सा टाइम भी ले ले, पर काम अच्छा हो. तो आई थिंक that kept on building up over the years and years and years and years, and then you get used to it. पर प्रेशर लाइफ में अच्छा होता है क्योंकि it motivates you to do more.
So is it right in saying that life is like a pressure cooker, and pressure तो रहता है, but it is important to know when to keep the lid off, to take the lid off. Is it important?
Exactly. I mean, जब तक लाइफ में प्रेशर ना हो, then what's the fun? जब तक until unless तुम्हारी लाइफ में और चीजें आते ना रहे, प्रेशर आते ना रहे, how will you learn to battle them, right? I mean, it's more about experience. कि तुम्हारा एक्सपीरियंस ऐसे ही आगे बढ़ता रहेगा. You actually become more mature when you have these pressure and you know how to tackle them, how to battle with them, and then it just makes you a better person in life, makes you a calmer person in life later, because when you go through all this and later on when you get the pressure, you'll be like, you know what, I know how to deal with it, man. And then ये सब कुछ भी नहीं है. And then you just become calm, become zen.
You become zen. One more thing I must talk to you is fear. डर लगता है young लोगों को to be judged, and I don't blame them. I yet feel that it is difficult, in order to try something new. Now, when it comes to culinary arts, you always have to experiment with a few things per se. And do you have fear of being judged when you experiment with something? And how do you deal and cope up with that fear?
Oh, of course. You know, when I started, actually when I came to Internet Ga, I took a risk of not quitting my job, leaving my job and coming over here for 2 months, thinking अगर ठीक है, कुछ हुआ तो ठीक है, नहीं हुआ तो it's okay, I have a job back in India. But I took a risk of coming to another country, working with different nationalities, and luckily it worked out pretty well. But yes, you know, when you come to a different country, you're working with different people, and then suddenly वो बोलेंगे कि अपना घर का कोई खाना बनाओ. So we used to have staff meal where you cook food for everyone in the restaurant, and at that time you feel scared. Okay, are they gonna like my food? Are they not gonna like my food? And I think the confidence just grows after that. But being judged is very normal at a young age. Even I felt I was being judged. Even now, I feel that if I make something, if someone doesn't like it, or if they don't like it and they don't say it, you feel like, okay, ठीक है, खराब है, मेरे को better करना है, or do I know how to do it? Do I not know how to do it? But it's a thing which stays for a long time. It will always be there. But then you just have to be very confident about yourself. If you know how to do it, you know how to do it. That's it.
You said this rightly. You know how to do it. But kai baar, and you know, there's a question is going to take in the middle of. I think a very relevant and pertinent question. Is there any mantra or tip how to deal with fear and how to stay calm in the face of stress and adversity?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a mantra. I think it just comes. Now it just comes naturally to me because, like, जैसे मैंने पहले बोला था, कोई फायदा नहीं है स्ट्रेस लेने का कि अगर लाइफ में ऑलरेडी इतना स्ट्रेस हो चुका है और फिर then you know how to battle it. But you know, it's easy to say it. I would say it's easy to say it right now because when I work, I work with a lot of calmness now with no pressure. But then before, I used to take a lot of pressure. Even when I used to be in a section, I used to be like, okay, मेरे को अभी काम अभी जल्दी जल्दी खत्म करना है, ये होगा ये नहीं होगा, मैं फिर खाना भी नहीं खाता कुछ दिन पे, and then सबके साथ होता है ये. I'm sure even you have gone through something like this.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stress in all walks of life, I think.
But you know what? You know what helps in with this is time management, which is very, very important. If you're working or if you're studying or anything that you're doing, if you actually have time stops or what you want to finish at some particular time, follow that. One mantra, okay, it's not a mantra, but one thing that I follow is in a day, if I work for an hour, in that 1 hour I work 15 minutes diligently and I take a 10 minutes break. So you know, you calm yourself down for that 10 minutes and then you can work again for another 15 minutes. You calm yourself down for 10 minutes and then you again work for 15 minutes. But in those 15 minutes, you're just working, and then you calm down again. So, you know, it relaxes your body, it relaxes your mind. That's one thing that I follow, but I don't know if it's a mantra or not, but you guys should try it.
Yeah, you guys should try it. No, it's great. This is a great mantra. And I will pass this on in discussion to Gaur Gopal Das ji and check with him also, saying, can we apply this mantra everywhere? You know, but, you know, I'm glad you answered that. One of the other things that I've personally found very useful is that, and you know, Manav, perhaps you as well, is that we should stay in the moment. Kya ho jata hai kai baar that we think about the past and if we think about the past, then we're just fixated on that. And when the future is not in our control, but the present, called present for a reason, it's like a gift, but the important thing is to remain in that moment, and therefore remaining in that moment is the challenge. But but let me take you from that to something else which is very very interesting for me personally, and again it's off these questions, is how Indian cuisine has evolved. As much as I say that you need to remain in the present, it's important to know where we have come from, because if we don't know where we have come from, we won't know where we are going. So
exactly,
evolution of Indian cuisine and to Indian cuisine has become, मतलब बहुत सारे variation हो गए. Are you a traditionalist in your approach? क्योंकि कई बार ऐसे लोग बोलते हैं saying कि दाल मखनी में आप cauliflower कैसे डाल सकते हो? You know?
Yeah, I would never do that.
Correct. But then there are some who get awards for doing exactly that, saying experimenting with and going away from the traditional approach that is Indian cuisine.
Yeah.
What, according to you, is the preferred approach? Should there be the more traditional style, or should it be evolution?
You know, the thing is, food should taste good because that's the end product, and that's what people come for. If you talk about Indian cuisine in a modern way, something that has changed a lot for our cuisine is social media. Because as soon as social media came in, you know, people around the world started posting stuff about their cuisine. And then, you know, people get inspired, ki, you know, acha, aise ho sakta hai, how would I take this technique? I put it in Indian food. Or, okay, I'm just talking about our country. So when you start doing all this, I think social media actually played a very, very big role in this. You see famous chefs all around the world. They are they're doing crazy stuff, and people start adapting those techniques. That's one thing that has evolved a lot in the current generation. And I think people who are like craftsmen, artists, chefs, they take those things and they implement it on their food. I personally, I love the traditional food, but as you're in the current generation, I love doing modern food as well. I love implementing Indian touch, Indian technique, and Indian spice in the kind of food that I make. I like to create more dishes rather than just taking the traditional and just putting that on the plate. So that's the way I want to bring Indian food forward. You know, creating more of Indian dishes with Indian techniques and Indian spices.
With Indian techniques and Indian spices, and that is great to know, because the only thing is that if there is one thing that can unite the world the Indian way, I would say two things. One is cinema and music, which is one big component, and the second is
Yes,
food.
exactly.
Nobody says no to a Amitabh Bachchan movie, and nobody will say no to food which is Indian food, which is palatable for them. So these are two things
Exactly.
that work across the world,
Yeah.
and therefore I'm glad that you're trying to do exactly that. But
Yeah. And
Manav,
you know, Indian food is so vast that every single part of India you have different kind of cuisine, and it's very difficult to eat everything or know everything about it as well. And I mean, it's such a good. It's very, very exciting to learn more about Indian food. Trust me.
no, there's no doubt about the fact that it is Indian food, and we can have an entire conversation dedicated on just the different cuisines that are there in India.
Exactly.
And
True.
but uh, but I must ask you this, and I've pinned it for that reason. Dal makhani fondue gives me anxiety, and आजकल Instagram पे chef ज़्यादा है, and actually there are less chefs in restaurants. What I feel is everybody, and thanks to the advent of social media, is giving out recipes. And some of these recipes are mind-boggling, and I think they can be implemented in the best Michelin star restaurants across the world. But then at the same point, there are these home cooks and Instagram cooks.
Yeah.
What we say to the younger generation who want to become chefs or want to learn culinary arts? Should they actually go to the pages of such people and follow them, or should they, do a course, study / follow people such as you, Vikas, or whoever is there?
You know, I feel if you actually want to be a cook, you should start from the bottom, from the basics, because the basics is so important. Trust me. I started with the Obroys. I did this course called the STEP. It's a systematical training education program. So which is done right after your school. So I was sent to Uday Vilas for 3 years, where you train in the kitchen with with the executive, like professional. You start working in a professional kitchen from day one. They'll teach you how to hold the knife, how to cut, and everything. It's required that you take this up. No, not step, but then you take up education in terms of this so that you learn your basics. Instagram पे, you can make food. You can cut, copy, paste. अभी बना लिया, बाद में बना लिया. कुछ अगर जल गया तो वो हटा दिया, कुछ नया डाल दिया. Those things happen, but
I envy because you went to, sorry, it's deviating a little bit, but I envy you because you went to Uday Vilas for 3 years and you lived in Uday Vilas rent free.
No. I was, yeah, I mean, okay, I was there every day for 3 years, but still.
Oh, it's a beautiful property, and I have fond memories of that.
I'm sorry?
I'm sure you have very fond memories of that.
I have very fond memories of Udaipur. I mean, I love that. I love that city. I made one of the best friends over there. I think that's where I started. It actually changed me a lot professionally, to be honest. You know, when you at a young age, when you start working with people who are already executives or who are already at a position, they would make you think like them. They would make you more, they will tell you how to concentrate on work rather than, deviating yourself. So it's very easy to get deviated when you're in college and when you're not working. But with such professionals, what they do is they will teach you one thing. When you come to work, you work. Just work, 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 work. And then as soon as your work is over, they will take you out for dinner, they will take you out for drinks, and they just become friends. It's like two ships. There's a personal life and there's a professional life. So one thing that I do is I don't mix my personal life and professional life together. It's it's two things that needs to be separated. You can't, if you have a personal problem going on, you can't let that affect on your professional life. That would give you more stress. Trust
That would
me.
that personal life becomes professional life. But tell me one thing, and I must ask you this: is there a difference between personal life and professional life when you land up doing what you love? जैसे आपको खाना बनाना अच्छा लगता है, it is something that you are fond of. अभी आजकल, this is a question with a lot of people who used to work at I.I.M.U.N, and then now they ask me this question once they are, they've passed out of college, and they say, Rishabh, you keep saying all this, but in actuality, it's very different. So how important is the fact that there is a difference between personal and professional life if you love what you do? Because, like, we've seen all the greats, whether it be Rahman or whether it be, whoever's come and whoever's spoken, and I've seen them in person. They sometimes don't. There's an interlay between how they are in their personal life and how they are in their professional space. There is no, like, they seamlessly transition. ऐसा नहीं है कि they can't 11 बजे मैं खाना नहीं बनाऊंगा. It's not like that. But sometimes it's become like that in the younger generation, is what sometimes I see. Whether is it a good thing or is it a bad thing according to you?
In a way, I'm not sure कि I'm not like 11 बजे के बाद मैं खाना नहीं बनाऊंगा, ऐसा तो कुछ है नहीं. But when you work the whole day, when you come back, you don't want to do anything. You just want to relax. You want to be with your family. You just want to be with your close ones. Want to be with your friends. There has to be a transition because you need to calm yourself down. Because when you have a lot of work pressure, you need to deviate from that as well.
Switch off करना जरूरी है.
बहुत important है. ओह, बहुत important है. तो ऐसा थोड़ी होगा कि अगर बोर्ड के एग्जाम्स के लिए पढ़ रहे हैं, जैसे बोर्ड खत्म हो जाए वो फिर से पढ़ना शुरू कर देंगे, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. वो लोग बुक्स फेंक देते हैं.
But the important thing, like you said also, is that, which my takeaway is personally, that 11 बजे ऐसे नहीं है कि मैं खाना बनाना मैं मना कर दूंगा, because that is something that I'm passionate. So that is
exactly
also to remember per se. To ask you this, and this is the cliche question, which is a must question. They put this in bold. Don't not ask this question. So here it is. What, according to you, based on your life's journey, are the sure shot ingredients required for success?
I think patience, one of the things, your passion towards whatever you do, your I think, and perseverance. I think these are the three things that is required a lot, and a lot of calmness. If you have all this, yes, exactly. Yoga karo yaar. Everything will be fine. These things are very important. Plus, it's very easy to say it right now. But it's very tough when it actually happens to you on your day-to-day, daily basis. It's it's very simple for your passion to just count off when you're doing the same thing every single day. So even when you work in a restaurant, you make things every single day, and there comes a point where you're like, yeah, what am I doing? I want to do other stuff, but then you can't let that get away, right? You build yourself, you start doing other things on the side, you start creating stuff on the side, you divert your mind into something else, where in doing something else, so that your passion is still there on other things. So for example, when even I started I started cooking. I've been cooking for good 11 years, yeah, in this industry. And I had these very small things on the side that I used to do. I used to sketch. I started boxing. I started swimming. You need to have these other curriculum activities going on so that you have time to switch your your needs, your passion, so that nothing dies off.
Nothing dies off. No, it's true. And
Mm.
it is imperative in order to make sure that you are giving you 150%. And that's only possible when you've got some downtime or some escape place to go to.
Exactly.
I'm with you. And what you said about patient perseverance is also very important. Therefore, I must ask you another question which is completely out of syllabus. And you feel free to tell me saying Rishabh Basab. Because when I start a conversation, that time they usually say, this is perhaps one of the reasons why I don't do conversations now. बस आपने बहुत जरूरी चीज बोली that patience रखना चाहिए. आज का millennials and Gen Z, that is all of us who are watching and even on this live, are all people who come from the .com generation, who come from the instant gratification generation.
Yeah.
हम लोग, the number of likes determine the happiness quotient of a person, and in 60 seconds, both on Instagram Reels and on a Tinder swipe, 60 seconds ही लगता, 60 seconds से ज़्यादा नहीं लगता. So everything is quick, but कई बार खाना overnight पकाना पड़ता है. It's required in order to give it the due time. What is your message when it comes to instant gratification? Do you think the way of hustling / instant gratification, saying that we need to do this right now, that dal makhani should be made in 20 minutes only, and uske liye ye ITC का पैकेट है या फिर इसका पैकेट है, वो मिला के बना दो और अभी खा लो. So is it what is your take on instant gratification, on the fact that hustling should lead to immediate results? What's your take?
It's not that hustling should lead to immediate results, but hustling should lead to experience. So the more you hustle, the more you learn. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. Make mistakes, man. I mean, it's the time of your life right now to make mistakes. Don't run after likes. Sab aa jayega. But we have come from a generation where we didn't have Instagram, then we didn't have Facebook, then we had all of this, and then algorithms started changing, things started becoming more modern, and then now what it is right now. And but the Generation Z, they got into it at their peak when Instagram and everything was at their peak. So I think that's how they think, that कि अगर अभी ये मिलेगा तो सब बढ़िया है, मजा आ गया, इतने लाइक्स आ गए, सब अगर जल्दी जल्दी हो रहा है, और इंस्टाग्राम पे मैं डालूंगा, मैं अभी मेरे को अगले 1-2 महीने में फेमस बनना है. I mean, it doesn't happen like that. You need to hustle to win in the end. It's for self satisfaction, Fame आएगा, fame जाएगा.
Hustling is not bad, but wait for the result.
Exactly. The results will come. No matter what, the results will come. See, if you trust yourself, the results will come. If you keep doing what you're doing, the results will come. So
it's like a T20 game, is it? Where you need to keep hitting.
Exactly.
In the 20 overs.
See, the game is not finished until the last ball is bowled. Last ball is bowled.
No, and आप देखते हो? Do you follow the IPL as well?
Oh, I don't get the time, but I do watch the scores at times. That's it.
You watch the scores. Now that I told you that you are MS, you must watch his game tomorrow on Saturday.
I actually follow CSK.
क्या हुआ? Sorry?
I actually follow CSK.
You actually follow CSK. That's good to know. Good to know. We are integrating CSK also in this. We integrated ITC. We integrated Oberoi. All the young people who are watching, please go and approach them and tell them to sponsor the series.
Exactly.
But let me ask you then the second last question from my end. What are the three skills that you think are imperative for a young chef to have? What are the three skills or habits that a young chef must have?
Oh, like you mean culinary skills
Culinary
or
skills.
just
Culinary skills.
your basic? I think first your basic etiquettes, the way you present yourself. It's actually very, very important in this industry. Very, very important. The way you present yourself, your confidence, okay, your knife skills, and बस यार नमक चखना आना चाहिए. खाने में नमक सही डालो ना, सब बड़ा हो जाएगा, सब सही हो जाएगा. सबसे बड़ी चीज वही है.
नमक सबसे बड़ी चीज है, पर वो दिखती नहीं है.
Exactly. सबसे important चीज है नमक.
I think the important thing is to be like namak. That you should be, you should be right.
You shouldn't be less, you shouldn't be more.
Correct. But if you're not there, then everybody misses you. And if you're there for too long, then everybody tells you saying bye Rishabh.
Yeah.
So which is why I have the last question.
Don't be low salt, don't be high salt.
Don't be low. Fantastic. Don't be low salt, don't be high salt. Clearly he's the chef. But the last part is a rapid fire. I have been inspired by what I always saw on Coffee with Karan, and we tried to see. The hamper contains food, so हम लोग को थोड़ा डर है that if we give you this hamper, then you will judge us. So, but
I don't mind. I like hamper.
Wait, if you win it, then you get the hamper, and the audience is the jury.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so what is your favorite cuisine?
Oh, Indian.
Master chef for you means?
Oh, it was actually a dream come true, and it came suddenly, out of nowhere.
Okay. Your mentor?
Oh, my mentor. I would say Chef Garima, because I worked with her for so long. I've learned the way she thinks about food, and the way I think about food is I've learned it from her. I said it on the show as well, because the way she thinks about Indian food is very, very different. It's very special. So yeah, she.
Your comfort food?
My comfort food. You know, before it was curry chawal, but when I moved to Thailand, it's kapao, which is minced chicken with basil. Oh, I can eat that every day. But I miss curry chawal when I go back home.
So then the next question is even more pertinent, and therefore I must ask you this. Your answer depends on, basis your answer, I think the hamper will reach you. Bangkok or India?
Oh yeah, जब मैं इंडिया जाता हूँ इंडिया, जब मैं बैंकॉक में रहता हूँ बैंकॉक.
वाह वाह वाह, ये तो बढ़िया है. But we don't have a buzzer, so there's no problem. आपका favorite street food कौन?
Street food क्या है?
हाँ, favorite street food क्या है?
अच्छा, ओ यार मोमोस.
मोमोस
मेरे को यहाँ पे मिलते नहीं है ना, इसलिए.
आप तो ट्रूली इंडियन इंटरनेशनल आइकॉन हो, ट्रूली इंडियन इंटरनेशनल शेफ. भारत की सारी डिशेस बता दी, इंटरनेशनल भी सारी डिशेस बता दी, एंड मोमोज भी बता दिया. अभी जब मैं यूथ बोलता हूँ, व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट थॉट दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड व्हेन आई से यूथ? व्हाट इज इट दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड?
Future. I mean, for sure. I mean, they are the future, hands down. I mean, they are the one who can take things forward.
And the final one, when I say India's international movement to United Nations or I.I.M.U.N, what is the first that comes to your mind?
I think opportunity, because they have the opportunity to see such people. Like you talk to a lot of people. I've seen the page as well, where people can get inspired from. The young generation can get inspired from, learn from them, and implement their ideas as well. So I think you need such platform where the experienced people can guide the young generations. So it's an opportunity for them, for the young generation.
For the younger generation. And as somebody who is both young and experienced, with 11 years of experience already under your belt, I am thrilled and delighted that you were kind enough in order to join and to talk to all of these young people and to talk to me, who both of us didn't expect. But but I'm glad that you did that. Any final thoughts that you have to share with all the young people who are watching you?
Oh, I would say just work hard, man. I mean, life is too short. You got to make it big. You know, just keep working. Make your name. That's it. Don't go after likes.
Don't go after likes.
हाँ, वो सब बाद में आ जाएंगे.
So don't first build your life. Automatically the likes will follow through. But
Exactly.
I'll end one thing, that nothing brings people together like good food, and people,
that's true.
chefs who make this good food are essentially the ones who unite the world the Indian way. The aim of the organization is in order to ensure that we spread the message of India across the world, whether it be through conference for children or whether it be through sessions such as these. I am very grateful to you, Manav, for spending so much time. अभी खाना बनाने का time हो, and हमारे लिए खाना खाने का time हो गया है. So but very kind of you. To the young MS Dhoni, I only wish the very best. And just like how MS has brought the country many laurels, I pray and hope that you continue to bring very many laurels to our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.